Okay, so this is a quick video on how to open up your hood without being able to open it from the inside. You have a wire here. It runs from the interior in 3 pieces. The first piece connects in here. Second wire goes all the way to the first hatch, and it's right here. And if you pull by this wire right here, you will see that it's opening, and this is the wire that we're going to be using. And then the third piece is running from here to here, from right to left, and if you'll see there is a wire right here next to the radiator. This is it. So if you pull by this wire separately, it's only gonna activate this latch right here, but when you pull it from the other side, it's not opening the hood from the right side, from the driver's side. The list of tools that you will need is basically a screwdriver from your BMW toolbox, a couple of small zip ties for your arch, a couple of large zip ties for your hood, and an 8mm or a 7mm head ratchet. So what we're gonna be using is, we're gonna be using this arch to get into the wire that is firstly goes from the interior into the first connection point, and we'll need to disassemble this. We'll need to take off this tire, and then the arch that is underneath, we'll be using the 10mm sockets to take it out as well. Now that the wheel is off, you have an open space here. You're gonna be unbolting this 1, 2, and 3 bolts right here, and once they're off, you're just gonna basically take off also these little pins right here. There's about 4 or 6 of them, and that's when it's gonna come off like this, and you're gonna push in and push out the wing like this. The first time you can do it without the wheel, you're gonna have to do it without the wheel, but the second time you can just not screw in those bolts and basically put in the arch back. And every time you want to open up the hood, one of the less pleasant ways of doing that is by doing it through here. And yeah, basically once all this stuff, once it's off, basically that's how it looks. And I'll put my phone right here so everything is lit. What you want to do is, you can even do it blindly, forward from the front suspension strut. You're going to be putting in your hand in, and the first wire that you're going to see is going to be somewhat connected to the frame of the X5. You're basically untapping it, and you're going to be pulling by it, and that's when you're going to see So the first side is off, the second side off. In order to get it off, you're gonna have to take out this kidney. Since I do it all the time, it comes out pretty easy. Put it right here. And then there is this second wire right here that you're gonna be pulling. And basically, once it's off, it's really, all it is comes off right like that. And this is the thing that you'll be looking from under the arch. The way it's gonna look is like this. So this is how your arch looks without the plastic cover. If you wondered, these are your horns. If you ever wonder where they are located. If you want to change them to a more powerful one, that's the arch, full, the brake cooling tunnel, and it's a good time to give it a good clean, but in my case it's not really dirty. Anyways, right here closer to the rear area, or let's say left of the suspension, you're gonna look and find this hole right here, and this is where you're gonna be putting in your hand to fish for this wire right here. And what you're gonna be doing is pulling it off again and pulling it. How I did it. But you wanna make sure everything is back on its place. And let's put everything back. So the arch is back in. As you can see right here, I didn't have factory pins, so I used little zip ties. But everything is back in place, and let's now proceed to the reason why I've actually started this video. Meanwhile, you're gonna be driving with your broken wire. As you can see, the reason for that is since I live in a salty place, salt eats up all the wires, and right here it's all pretty much destroyed from salt. Either though it's a stainless steel wire. Looks like the steel braided wires aren't really that steel braided, but 20 years of time sort of makes sense to me. Now what you want to be doing is closing the hood, but not in full. You're gonna be using this square hole right here as your latch point. See, the hood is still not closed. What you're gonna be doing is inserting those 3 clamps into right here, so it goes up. Let me give you an example. And basically this is how it looks. Right here, 3 clamps goes through the bottom hole and above the hook. Make sure it's all safe and zip tied. You're gonna have a little gap on both of the sides right here, but that's not very important. Now 3-4 clamps should be good enough, because at some point the car was unexpectedly traveling at around 180-190 kilometers an hour. The hood didn't open, so everything was good. Now let's put the kidney back, and that's it. Now you can, every time, take out the kidney, pop those zip ties, and get the hook up, and your hood is gonna be up. Unfortunately, because I'm using zip ties on the side right here, I have this little ugliness that I cannot take off, but I'm gonna go and get some of those factory pins to put back. Anyways, hopefully it was useful for you. Please press the like button if this was useful for you. Have a good one. Ciao.